Taylor Jacobs when it was Gaffney and Riche Caldwell. It's just kind of like, well, Taylor dropped the ball, so we didn't play him much in the second half. But we think that bright things are in store. We're going back to my undergraduate era. Yeah. But, that was kind of the deal. Spurriers guys, your playmakers, even Riley Cooper to some extent, had David Nelson and Louis Murphy around. So
Hernandez.
Until 2009, Cooper didn't really have to be the man because there was Percy and Hernandez and, all these guys. So it's just sort of like if Cooper had a bad game, didn't get open, Urban didn't have to put him on the field. When the Marcus makes a mistake, different guys touch the ball, and different guys touch the ball in Urban Meyer's offense. Precisely. I mean, and DeMarcus Robinson is like, everybody's like, well, he's just not a miracle working playmaker. It's like, he's a sophomore. He's going to have moments where you're kind of like, what the hell is he doing? And those have happened. I mean, I think, what game was it where he took a horrible angle on his route, and then kind of, I don't want to say, it didn't look like he really tried for the pass first and through, which is a pretty good ball. Was it the Tennessee game?
Yeah, Tennessee. It was.
That was horrible.
He volleyball spiked it, that one, right to Cam Sutton?
Yeah, I mean, we probably aren't as mad at him if he's not all we got. Are we?
No, we can't be mad at him. He saved us against Kentucky. We can't possibly be mad at him.
The sophomore.
Yeah, and we're expecting him to be our savior.
Game of the season. Host of the best game of the season. Yeah, it was. Yeah, his first half was terrible, but it was a good game.
But Robinson isn't going to be the key, though. Like, he's not... I don't know how to say this. Robinson is going to be blanketed by Georgia because they know, as well as anybody, that he is the only person who even resembles a threat to beat them in the passing game. Georgia is going to swarm him, and they are going to make guys like Ahmad Fullwood and Quentin Dunbar. I guess Dunbar's proven to be a sort of threat. Yeah. Okay, we can't write him off. He did have that big catch against the Bulldogs last year. Of course, the offense screwed up so badly that we got no points out of that. No, we cannot. Because
let me briefly on this, because this is true. It's close to the program. It's good sort of stuff. Cleveland Dunbar stopped playing for Jed Driscoll.
Boom.
There are multiple sources close to the football team that have confirmed this to me. He wanted his Booker T. Boyd to be the guy. Let's see how hard Clinton Dunbar played in the last Florida Georgia game. Florida seniors have a chance to do something that a group of Florida seniors hasn't had happen to them in over 30 years. And that's joining what Peyton Manning was in against Florida, what Will Muschamp was in against Florida, the 0-4 club. So they'll be 0-4 in their careers against Georgia. Let's see. I mean, Clinton, you got your wish, Clinton. Go play football.
Well, remember the play last year early in the game. He burned Georgia. He torched them. And the ball was slightly underthrown by Tyler Murphy. You know the play I'm thinking of? Murphy drops back into the end zone and just lofts it deep. There's Murphy running kind of a cross between a fly and... I guess you can call it a post route because he was kind of curling in toward the post. And he catches the ball on the SEC logo, and there he goes. If Murphy throws that ball maybe 6 inches farther, that's 6. That's a touchdown. And it was Dunbar's speed that got him open. Okay, Georgia is not expecting him to be torching them because, like you said, Neil, I really didn't want to say this, but now that you did, it's true. And I'll add to it, he does not play for Driscoll. And Georgia doesn't, so, Georgia goes with what they see on tape of him. And here he comes flying out of his route, and he's wide open. So, he is going...
I don't think it's just Dunbar that doesn't play for Driscoll.
No, it's Fullwood, too.
He's the only one.
It's Fullwood.
I think a lot of guys hold resentment for them sending Jacoby Brissett packing last year.
Well, that too.
Jacoby Brissett
lot of guys wanted Jacoby Brissett over Driscoll. They believe that the QB competition was not as close as it was made to the public's eye be. And Brent Pease wanted Jeff Driscoll, and the players wanted Jacoby Brissett, and that pissed off a lot of players in the locker room that year. And I think ever since Driscoll's been looking the way that he has this year, and even in the beginning of last season, the players are kind of probably pointing the finger and saying, we told you so, and we were right all along, and you guys chose the wrong guy.
And that's on Muschamp. That's on Will Muschamp 100%. He has now run off 2 ACC starting quarterbacks. Okay, the ACC is not the best conference, but 2 starting quarterbacks at the FBS level, at the Power 5 conference level, have been run off by Muschamp. And that's another thing he does wrong. That is completely his fault. And that's why when I see news articles that say players back Muschamp, I call bullshit. I call bullshit. There's no way. They can't. How can they possibly back him? Some of them, the ones. What? Yeah.
It's just defensive players that have his back, and you know what? They should, and that's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's like David talked about on the last podcast. I mean, you know, he's hired horrible coordinators, and he made a terrible decision at quarterback. This is the great thing about football, is there's this old Bobby Davenport I love, where, you know, it was at halftime of a Florida game, actually. 96 Sugar Bowl. And, the national championship game. And they asked Bobby, what's wrong? What's happening? This is his radio network with Deckeroff. And Mountain just goes blocking and tackling. We're not blocking real well, and we're not tackling. And I said, well, what can you do to fix it in the second half? And he goes, well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? We can block better and we can tackle better. And it applies across the board. I mean, it applies to Will Muschamp. Hire better coordinators, pick Jacoby Brissett. You're probably in a better situation. That's not what happened. So, you know, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. It's a little burst of energy they got from seeing Treon on the field at Tennessee. If that carries over in Jacksonville, where I think a lot of them want to like Will Muschamp. You know, they want to play for the guy. So, will they play for him with Treon Harris under center? Naturally, they're living out.
Well, we've seen that happen before. It didn't really work out too well against Missouri. He got his chances. The offensive line didn't do anything. They allowed Marcus Golden to just run through like it was a sieve, and Harris just got beat up. You know, both quarterbacks did. It wasn't just Harris, and it wasn't just Driscoll. Whoever was in the backfield got crushed.
That was Harris without the majority of the first team reps.
No, they had 2 linemen in. They had 2 of the starters in. I'm
talking about just reps in practice for Treon.
Oh.
I understand what you're saying. I mean, I agree, but Treon was second team reps.
Did you guys hear Muschamp's quotes after the Missouri game about the offense? That was the biggest indictment I think I've ever heard that came out of his mouth against Jeff Driscoll. He said, and I quote, "We want to be able to throw the ball more often and downfield, but there are certain limitations that we have that we cannot do that."
Yeah, and I heard that.
They're pointing the finger, saying that my quarterback stinks, and I know that, and we basically, on a 3rd and 9, a 3rd and 10, we're basically getting the defenses getting their helmets on and ready to go out in the field.
Yep. 100%.
But
if you watched the Alabama game, when you saw it, Florida had the play calling in the Alabama game was good.
It was horrible.
And Driscoll hits his passes over and over and over again. You can't win in the SEC if you're going to hide your quarterback. You can't win consistently.
They would run him. That's how they tried to get their yards and their points. They would run him.
He underthrew DeMarcus Robinson on a post route by about 10 10 yards at least. And Demarcus Robinson had nobody within 15 yards of him. And that, to me, was the defining moment of Jeff Driscoll's career right there. And
I don't know about that, but yeah, okay.
I thought his defining moment was Brent Pease and Muschamp coached him to throw the ball away, and you're playing for the SEC East title against Georgia.
Yeah.
I thought it was his freshman year. The interception in the end zone at the end of the first half.
That was his sophomore year. The one, no, yeah.
Sophomore year. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, the one. It was the play where he was flushed out of the pocket. He was on the run. There were 10 seconds left in the half. He threw it across his body, a wounded duck, and Bakari Rambo picks off to end the half. And if Florida gets even a field goal, the game is totally different.
All-American kicker. Just kick the field goal.
Yeah, we had Sturgis back then. That's right. A luxury we don't have now.
He's not the same player he was 2 years ago.
He's worse. He's worse.
Even in that moment, he wasn't good enough.
He has regressed. You're right. He's regressed.
He wasn't good enough, but he wasn't bad enough to where he cost us games.
Well,
That's bad.
Except for that game.
Yeah, he cost us that one. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
And inarguably, he cost us the Louisville game, too. He threw that ball way behind Andre DeBose. That got picked off. DeBose shouldn't have tipped it to Calvin Pryor, but that was a terrible throw. Way behind him.
Andre ran the wrong route. I hear you.
That's fair. Yeah,
it's just been one domino after another for the last 2 seasons of watching Jeff Driscoll play the quarterback position. And I quoted an NFL executive that was asked 3 weeks ago, what do you think of Florida Gators quarterback Jeff Driscoll? Oh, I think he'll make a great tight end. He's extremely athletic.
Yeah, that was sad. He's fast. He can run.
Speaking of beast at tight end, Driscoll 6'4", 240, and he can run a 4.5. He would be so good at the tight end.
Yeah, he's Rob Gronkowski.
I think I can recall hearing that about some other quarterback who played for Florida, like, I don't know, 3 years ago, maybe.
Except that quarterback was the most efficient passer in Southeastern Conference history, and had a 67.6 completion percentage his senior year.
Also, Tebow is well.
What did he throw 3 interceptions his senior year?
Tebow?
2.
No, Tebow threw 5. He threw one against Tennessee to Eric Berry. It was a low throw. Berry dove and caught in his lap. He threw one against LSU. Someone ran the wrong route, and Jai Eugene picked it off in the sidelines. And he threw a bad one in the SEC title game against Alabama. I remember he had Hernandez open in the corner of the end zone, and if he just lobs it and puts some touch on it, it's an easy touchdown, but he threw a line drive. So Javier Arenas stepped in and picked it off. If he just floats it up over Arenas' head, he can't get it, and Hernandez has a touchdown. And then he threw 2 more against Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jonathan Banks took them back for touchdowns.
That was impressive, Neil.
Yeah, I have a photographic memory.
That was pretty impressive.
Thanks. Anyway, let's get back to the real topic at hand. Florida needs to they have a lot of problems. They need to figure it out and fast, or their coach is gone. We knew that. We basically said the same thing before Missouri. You know, they got to play at least. They have to at least look better. They have to at least pass some eyeball tests, or he's gone. And now, I think he's gone already. But if there's any chance, they have to play better. Prediction: score, and why does that team win by that margin?